The race is on, folks. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis taking several swipes at former President Donald Trump in his first Newsmax interview with Eric Bolling since officially entering the race for the White House. This comes on the heels of the Trump campaign having more than a little bit of fun at the expense of DeSantis after some technical difficulties on Twitter. The campaign posting this. Watch. The former president also posting on Truth Social saying, wow, the DeSantis Twitter launch is a disaster. His whole campaign will be a disaster. Nothing like a great campaign, folks. Let's discuss with the host of the Kimberly Guilfoyle Show on Rumble, Kimberly Guilfoyle. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for being with us. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. A pleasure to be on the program.
DeSantis and Tim Scott joined the race this week. Your reaction?
You know, look, I like both men, but there's one leader, one person that we need. And I've said this over and over again. You know, it's not the time for training wheels or the time to roll the dice on someone who is still a rookie, quite frankly. OK, it's not time to go into Toys R Us, strap on the training wheels and take a spin around the aisle and see if it works out. We've already seen all the record of accomplishments under Donald Trump, the wage growth, energy independence, middle-class tax relief, the most secure border in decades. We have peace deals that were historic in the Middle East, and there's so much more. That's what we need now. Again, this is not the time to play around, okay? Look what's happening with Joe Biden and his administration. It's been a complete disaster, totally destructive to America. Ron DeSantis done a fine job in Florida. In my opinion, he should stay here, do the job. He made a commitment when he was just reelected to do 4 years and serve. If you're going to be on the road running for a campaign for president, that's not going to happen. And he's not ready for it. Why not go ahead and run in 2028 and have the support and the groundswell of the America First MAGA base? You're going to run against Donald Trump. You are going to get hurt and damaged badly. That is the problem. So by the time Trump is done, we saw this before, 16 people, one after the next, fell off the stage. You're going to end up in the junkyard. You're not going to be in good shape for 2028. That's just a fact. I don't think really anybody's going to dispute that. And I understand that Ron DeSantis has some, the Billionaire Boys Club, the big boys giving him some cash. Great. Donald Trump has the base. It's Trump's Republican Party. He's 1,000% going to be the nominee. He's going to crush it in the primary. And we're just really laser focused on the general election and defeating Joe Biden.
Yeah, the former president really going after DeSantis, and he's been doing this for a while. He also shared a fan-made fake graphic with Elon Musk, DeSantis, George Soros, and Adolf Hitler as well. Your language, obviously, you're a big supporter, and we understand that, is very strong. And we know that the former president loves the fight. Frankly, he's good at it. But does that risk overshadowing a much more positive, forward-looking message that many voters want to hear if this gets too ugly between the two of them?
I hear what you're saying, but, what did Trump have to do with the disastrous rollout and launch of Ron DeSantis? He built that. They owned that, him and his team. So that's the problem for them. People had a good laugh with it, poked, some fun at it, some sarcasm, etc. Guess what? That was their rollout. I mean, that's what you're looking for. That's prime time for you. I think it's a very bad indicator of what's to come. And President Trump's serious. He's focused. He does incredible policy speeches. We have a really phenomenal campaign for him. This time, I think it's pretty impressive. Even some of the left-leaning and liberal critics have said that his campaign is on point. And this is despite all of the fake, witch hunts and manufactured, indictments and nonsense that they've been throwing at President Trump. But as you know, he is super tough. He's like the Teflon Don, and it bounces off of him, and he keeps going forward because he said they're only after him because they're after each and every one of us. And I really do believe that's the truth. I mean, we saw this now with the Durham report, the phony Russia hoax thing, the sham impeachments, the constant smears, the Mar-a-Lago document, sham attack on him now that
those
we say
are all
Jack
things
Smith
that have ultimately helped him. All things that have ultimately helped him.
They've ultimately helped him.
Yeah.
They backfired, and Ron DeSantis's rollout and launch actually helped Trump too. So congratulations, And again, I live in Florida. I love Florida. He has done good things here, Ron DeSantis. But being in charge, quite frankly, of the executive branch in Washington, it is just a completely different beast. It is a totally different animal.
The former president has, let's talk about executive leadership. The former president has also hit DeSantis on COVID response. The DeSantis campaign responding on Friday with a video blaming former President Trump for the lockdowns. Watch this.
We did the right thing. We closed the country down.
I could have kept it open. And I could have done what some countries are doing.
I had to shut it down, and we did the right thing.
I thought of keeping it open.
And we did just the right thing. We closed it down. And a group of very smart people walk in and say, sir, we have to close it. And we did the right thing.
Even the Democrats aren't blaming me for that. We had to close it up. Some people wish we never closed it down.
We did the right thing.
Is there a concern that COVID policy could be a wedge issue in the primary that could cut against the former president to some degree?
I really don't think so. That's really the best that the DeSantis team has is some selected little clips talking about a brief, shutdown and closure at the time that the president made the decision. And by the way, I love that they put up that Dr. Evil, Fauci up there. If anybody knows anything, President Trump is no fan of Fauci. OK, so people need to come to grips with that at all. I know personally. And he did what he thought he needed to do at the time. He did provide the vaccines. He did show leadership. He did shut down travel coming in from China, which was the right thing to do. And he was widely criticized for doing that. Overall, he handled it very well. I can't say the same for Joe Biden. And I think that that is going to be, an arrow that Ron DeSantis tries to shoot at President Trump that's going to by far miss the mark.